Welcome to Spiritual Spotlight, where we explore the truths of Scripture and seek practical applications for Christian living. Let's continue our study of Proverbs 3, looking to verses 9 and 10. Let's get started. Honor the Lord with your wealth and with the first fruits of all your produce. Then your barns will be filled with plenty, and your vats will be bursting with wine. These verses remind us that honoring God isn't always about something done during a worship assembly. It isn't always done with prayer or reading scripture. Stewardship, how we use what God has blessed us with, is a means of honoring God in our lives too. Well, what does it mean to honor the Lord with our wealth? It goes beyond giving a portion of our income to the church or giving to charitable causes. It involves recognizing that everything that we have is a gift from God and acknowledging His ownership over our lives and resources. When we honor God with our wealth, we demonstrate our trust in His provisions and His ability to meet our needs. It's an act of faith and obedience that aligns our hearts with His purposes. This is what the wise man is talking about when he speaks of giving of the first fruits. They gave the first of the harvest, and that was an act of trust and faith. For us, it's about priority more so than it is order, but it's still demonstrating a trust that God's able to meet our needs. In the second part of the text that we read, it speaks of the blessings that flow from when we honor God with our wealth. He uses these phrases that probably don't mean a whole lot to us specifically today. It speaks to their culture about their barns being filled with plenty and their vats bursting with wine. But the idea is that we're going to prosper. God is going to bless us. It's important to note that these blessings are not necessarily materialistic in nature. They represent God's provision and the abundance poured out in our lives. It may manifest as financial blessing, but it can also include peace, joy, wisdom, and a deep sense of satisfaction in knowing that we are walking in alignment with God's principles. So it's spiritual blessings as well as material. So, how can we practically apply what we've just read in Proverbs 3 9 and 10? First, we can start by cultivating a heart of gratitude and acknowledging God as the source of all of our blessings. A lot of us struggle with gratitude. It's something that many in our culture struggle with, but showing gratitude and thanksgiving in our life is key to understanding the source of our blessings. We can express our gratitude through regular acts of giving and generosity, not only with our finances, but also with our time, our talents, and our resources, finding ways to use the things that God has blessed us with. Second, in order to use our resources well, we can seek wise counsel in managing our lives. It's important that we find people to help us use the things that we've been blessed with in the right way. And this involves being responsible with our spending, with saving, with investments, while also being mindful of the needs of others and finding opportunities to bless other people. And that way, we're like God. God blesses us, and we find a way to bless others. And finally, we must remember that the ultimate reward lies not in material blessings we receive, but in deepening our relationship with God. When we honor him with our wealth, we draw closer to his heart and experience the richness of his presence in our lives. Paul wrote in 1 Timothy chapter 6 in verse 17, "As for the rich in this present age, charge them not to be haughty, nor to set their hopes on the uncertainty of riches, but on God who richly provides us with everything to enjoy." As we conclude today's episode, let's reflect on Proverbs 3 9 through 10 and its timeless wisdom that it offers. May we always honor the Lord with our wealth, recognizing his faithfulness and trusting him to provide for our every need. Thank you for joining us in this episode of Spiritual Spotlight. Like and subscribe so you'll be notified of our future videos. Until then, may you be filled with the abundance of God's blessings. Take care and God bless.